morning. I am getting ready to run into town, and I just thought I'd bring you along. We've got some weather today, so Bill had put my truck in the barn and is in behind it, so I hated to bug him about it, but I did want to bring this truck today. So he had to come out and move his truck again so I could get out of the barn. I hate doing that. I hate inconveniencing him or anybody else, actually. There's the girls, some of the girls. Just a little more than half of the girls. Get on the road, sisters. Chickens, I swear. All right. So I haven't made a video for a while because I haven't been really going anywhere for a while, except running minor assorted errands like I'm doing today. But I thought today was probably a good day to do it, since I've got a package going out. That noise you're hearing, that kind of growly noise. Load of hay. That's my vacuum air pump, my electric vacuum air pump that replaced my belt-driven vacuum air pump on this truck. The only thing that runs is my brakes, I think. I think it's the brakes. Anyway, I haven't had to change out a vacuum air pump or a belt since we put the electric pump on it. So that was a big win. I better not jinx it by saying anything else about it, except that so far so good. I don't know why it's doing that though. That's a little unusual. I hope it's not going out. That would be highly annoying. I think he's got to get in this gate maybe. I'm not sure where he's going. That gate opening, and he's got to jockey that big trailer into that tight gate. I do not envy him that on this little skinny road. That's interesting. Huh. I can't figure out what my vacuum pump is doing. It keeps starting and stopping. That's weird. It's not supposed to be doing that. Oh well, I'm not going any farther than Marlow today. So if it breaks down, we can get it pretty easy. Poor bunny. actually going over and watching my brother's road videos, but if you're not, you should, at Backroads of Colorado, because he's got much more spectacular scenery being up in the Rocky Mountains, northwest Colorado and southwestern Wyoming, in that area. But if you have been watching him, you may have actually heard him speculating about why I don't talk about politics on my YouTube channel so much. I mean, I do occasionally, but not very often. And I just thought, you know, if you had been watching that, maybe I should actually address that, just in case anybody wonders, because I have talked to him since he posted that up. He knows. I mean, we do actually talk to each other, not just, you know, make comments back and forth on our YouTube channels. But he was wondering if it had something to do with me, you know, wanting to make money off of YouTube and being worried about talking about politics, you know, and that would make me not earn money on YouTube. Well, that's not really much of a consideration for me, because and you can see how many subscribers I actually have, and I'm thankful for every one of you, for sure. But I don't have anywhere near enough subscribers to ever be monetized. I don't think I ever will reach that point. And I don't really care, because I do this more for fun, you know. But I don't talk about politics a lot because it irritates me when I think about it. I save my political stuff for Twitter. That's where I do my political venting. And I have more reach on Twitter than I have here. I don't have thousands and thousands of subscribers on Twitter, but I've got, or followers, but I've got several thousand, a few thousand anyway. So I have a little bit more reach there for the political stuff, and I think there's more appetite for it there than there is here, you know, on my YouTube channel. That is really bothering me about that pump. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. So it's more, I don't like getting myself wound up, especially if I'm out working, and, you know, like I'd be out driving all day. If I got myself going on politics, I'd be, you know, cranky all day because the state of politics in this country is a fuckered up mess. But that's not all of it either. The other part of it is, I feel like if I start talking politics, and I'm sure, you know, most of you have heard me say a couple of things politically. You probably know about where I stand. I'm a constitutionalist, for one thing. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a libertarian. I'm not even an independent. I'm a constitutionalist. I think we should abide by the Constitution as it was written by our founding fathers. And I just don't think there's any room for, you know, like modern translations or interpretations. They said what they meant, and they meant what they said. And they gave us remedies for stuff that, you know, ways to fix things if we let it get screwed up. Unfortunately, we're not brave enough to use some of the remedies because we've been brainwashed into thinking that they're bad, or it'll end up, you know, just deleting the whole Constitution or whatever. It's crock, but, you know, that's how people have been taught by the politicians who want to stay in power. So I don't talk about my politics so much here, because I figure if you're still here after listening to me talk a little bit about them, then you're probably somewhat akin to where I'm at on the political spectrum anyway. And if you're not, you probably just, you know, went on past me by, because the thing I've noticed about how polarized we are these days is that people do not want to listen to an opposing political idea. They just don't want to hear it. I see it on Twitter all the time. And even on Twitter, I've gotten to the point where you know, if I make a comment, a political comment, and somebody wants to actually discuss it, that's fine. I'll discuss it with them. But if they want to just make a shitty comment, you know, hit and run type of thing, I just block them. So I even suffer from this inability to tolerate too much of that kind of hit and run crappiness, you know. But people don't want to hear it. So that's pretty much why I don't really talk that much about politics on here. So now that that mystery has been solved, I'm going to take this package in. I'm going to come out and look at my vacuum pump, make sure everything, I might have a hose unhooked or something. Maybe that's why it's doing what it's doing. So I'll be back.
There's a girl just down the aisle, go and turn and see her smile. Can't be 20 on sugar now. Go with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can't be 20 on Thank you. This is really an oldie.
Okay, that's just weird. I think I might have a fuse problem of some weird sort. The only thing I could find in there is I've got one fuse that looked like it was busted up. This guy right here. it's missing something, and it wasn't really plugged in. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I guess it's just going to keep doing that until I can figure it out. Well, I know it's going to keep doing that until I figure it out, or until Bill takes a look at it and instantly knows what it's doing. It may just be that that vacuum pump is fixing to go out. Wouldn't surprise me a bit, because that's the one thing we've had consistent trouble with on this truck are the vacuum air pumps. So, seen it. Well, I was just bragging on it, and now it's doing this. So something is wrong with it. So I guess I'm gonna take this home and look at it and see if I can figure it out without having to get out the truck and trailer and come get it. Hopefully. If I make it home, I think I will. I don't think this is like a fatal flaw. I'm trying to think what it actually controls. I think it might be the brakes. It's either the brakes, and I think it's got to be the brakes. Oh, and I was gonna try pumping up my airbag too. I'm not hearing my pumping gauge, my air pump. Huh. Is my airbag pressure sitting at 0? I've got airbags on the back of this. They came on it. I didn't add them. But I wonder what's going on with that. Something else to look at, I guess. This is the problem with old trucks, and this is why I took it out of service and didn't run it for the last year. Because, you know, stuff breaks on them. Even though the truck's in really awesome shape, we've had to do a lot of work to it. Well, actually, Bill did a lot of work to it. I did some. But it's taken a lot of work just to make it, you know, roadworthy enough to where we feel like if we wanted to take it somewhere we can without really worrying about it too much. But this is a new thing now, this pump problem. But I've got, of course they're at the house because I took them out of the Dodge and stuck them in the house instead of bringing them out to this truck. I've got 2 bags of fuses, so I can go through and check all the fuses, make sure everything is good. And then I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to figure something out to fix it, I guess, because I intend to drive this truck. I don't intend to just leave it in the barn forever. And I had it up for sale, but I had a crazy price on it because I kind of didn't want to sell it. Kind of did, kind of didn't. And I finally decided I'm just going to keep it, at least for a while, and drive it. So, you know how that works. As soon as you decide to drive something like this, things start breaking on it. But I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not 500 miles from home, you know. And it's not broken yet. It just keeps kicking on and kicking off, and I don't understand why it's doing that. There's definitely something funky going on with it. What that is, I do not know. I bet Bill will know. Bill is like the machine whisperer. He doesn't like working on vehicles, but he understands the machines, and he can tell pretty quick. He's really good at troubleshooting. He's like the troubleshooting master, and he's very able to narrow down to the cause of problems real quick. He's just really good at it, you know. So I'm sure he'll have an opinion on it. And this fuse that I took out, it wasn't like plugged in tight. It was just sitting in one of the, I think it might even be an empty bay. It was just sitting in there looking like it lost this little plastic thing off the bottom. So, you know, I don't think it's a bad fuse actually, because it's not burnt. It was just, there was nothing for it to be plugged into, so it may just be an extra one that was sitting in there for some odd reason. Who knows? I might have stuck it in there thinking it would be good to have an extra one handy. I have no idea. I don't think I did, but I can't swear that I didn't. So, you know, one of those things. That horse is up on top of that concrete cistern. I've never seen a horse standing on that thing. Can you see that? That's crazy. What are you doing standing up there? I guess he likes standing up there. He's not talking to me. Even horses ignore me. Well, I guess we'll get this figured out. It's always something. Always something. I'm going to run up here and ask Bill to look at this and see if we can figure out what's going on. And if we can, I'll take it out and run it again and make sure it has quit. And I will continue this video at that point. So I'll see you in a bit. One way or the other, I'll let you know what happens. Okay, well, got the verdict. I figured he'd say that. We're gonna have to replace the pump. I was just bragging. I jinxed it, I jinxed it, I jinxed it. I freaking jinxed it just by mentioning it. Never again. Okay, anyway, we got to replace this pump, I guess. It's going bad. So over here on the right, I just kind of wanted to show you this. That's my soon-to-be eBay store over there, that shed. We've got to get rid of the porch on it. There was a repo that we got cheap. Well, not cheap, but cheaper than a brand new one would have cost by several thousand, I think. But the configuration of it is kind of dumb because they've got that big porch on there that eats up about, 24 to 30 feet of floor space, square footage, that would serve us better if it were inside the shed instead of outside of it on the porch. So we're going to move that, we're going to bump that wall out. It should be relatively a simple project. The way the shed's built, we've looked it over real good. So I'll give you a front view of it here as I'm putting this thing back in the barn where I just made Bill move his truck so I could get it out. He's probably not real happy with me at this moment. And I don't blame him, but see how it's got a porch on it? We're gonna just take out those side walls and bump the front facing wall out as far as we can get it. We're not gonna bother removing the railing or any of that. We'll just bump it up as close as we can get to that and regain about 24 to 30 square feet of space. That why they would do that, I have no idea. But then we've got to insulate it, wire it, sheetrock it, get it all ready to move my stuff all out in there, because I have outgrown the house completely as far as the eBay store thing. I'm overrun. It's insane. I'm just going to stick this back in here where Bill had it. Should be right there. And shut it down. shut all this stuff off. Okay, shut that off, shut this off. And I will see y'all in the next episode. We'll see how this goes and if I can get her fixed. Thanks for riding along. I'll see you next time.